Welcome to the deep dive. The core topic today really hits on one of the most frustrating paradoxes in content creation right now.
Hmm.
It's this question of how do you navigate the high stakes world of SEO when traditional human writing is just so slow and expensive, but using the common AI tools it feels shallow and frankly pretty risky.
It really is the essential tightrope walk for every marketer out there.
Yeah.
You know you need volume, you need to compete, but then Google's helpful content guidelines they're just tightening the screws.
Totally.
And if your content doesn't meet those super high standards, you're not just risking stalled growth, you could be facing active penalties.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to really cut through all that noise. We're going to dig into the hard data that proves why deep, long-form content is, well, it's pretty much non-negotiable for success. Then we'll diagnose the five critical pain points that keep teams stuck. And most importantly, we're going to analyze the specific technical criteria an AI system needs to actually generate content that satisfies Google's core metric for authority. We're talking about EEAT.
Think of this as your blueprint. We're giving you the strategic analysis you need to move beyond, just simple word generation and towards creating genuine content authority.
Okay, so let's unpack the numbers right out of the gate. Google has been, pretty clear that they don't rank content just by word count alone.
Right. It's not a simple numbers game.
No, but when we look at the data, and we pulled 3 key studies on this, including some great research from SERPIQ and Backlinko, there is just this powerful, undeniable correlation between depth and ranking high.
The consistency across those studies is what's so compelling. It's not just one outlier.
It really is. So SERPIQ's analysis, they looked at tens of thousands of keywords, and it showed that the article ranking number 1, it averages 2,416 words.
Wow. 2,400 words.
Yeah. And the article ranking 10th, that's still clocking in at over 2,000 words. Backlinko's own analysis confirms this, showing top results average 1,447 words. The trend is just crystal clear. Comprehensiveness is basically a prerequisite for discovery.
And that average, that 2,416 words for rank 1, that doesn't just happen by accident. What's so fascinating here is that the length, it gives you the necessary room, the space, to demonstrate real depth and expertise.
Which is what Google actually values.
Exactly. It's not about writing more fluff. It's about having the space to exhaustively cover a topic, answer every question a user might have, and, cite your evidence.
And that comprehensiveness, it acts like a massive magnet for link equity, which is just the lifeblood of SEO authority.
Yeah.
Backlinko found long-form content gets a massive 77.2% more backlinks than short articles.
That's 77.2% jump. I mean, that's not just a nice little bump. That is a step change in your authority building.
Huge.
And the data from Fire's marketing is even sharper. Articles over 2,000 words average 42 linking domains. For articles under 500 words, it's only 8. You are literally creating a networking asset, not just a blog post.
And it dominates social sharing, too. BuzzSumo found the sweet spot for maximum shares is actually content between 3,000 and 10,000 words.
So length signals utility, which generates authority, which ultimately drives rankings. It all connects.
So the core insight, then, is that depth is the best structural way to prove true quality.
Yes, and quality in 2024 and beyond is defined by that one Google standard, EEA.
Okay, so can we break down EAT one more time? But critically examine how a 3,000-word document actually proves those qualities better than a quick 500-word piece?
Absolutely. So EAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. A longer article provides the framework to systematically prove all 4. We'll take expertise and trustworthiness. To prove those, you need space to define complex terms, explain all the nuance, cross-reference statistics, detail your methodology. A 500-word summary just can't do that. It's inherently shallow by design.
That focus on depth is clear. But okay, let's dig into the cost of that depth. Because here's where the friction really starts. If we all agree that long-form content is the answer, why are so many businesses still struggling to produce it consistently? We've identified 5 core pain points that really define this struggle right now.
And these pain points, they define the reality of what we call the quality-speed trilemma, the fact that you usually only get to pick 2 of the 3.
Right. So the first pain point, and it's probably the most frightening one, is the fear of Google penalties. The concern is completely valid. Google's helpful content update is specifically targeting low-quality, high-volume AI fluff.
One wrong decision there can just erase months or even years of your SEO momentum.
And that leads directly into the second problem, just general quality issues. We know that up to 70% of the content from general AI tools has quality
It's
problems.
so bland. It's full of generalizations, cliches. It completely lacks any original insight. It feels like regurgitation.
And if users feel like they're just reading the same information they saw on 3 other sites, they lose trust of your brand. It damages your authority.
Hmm.
The trilemma itself is the third pain point, the quality speed trilemma. You can hire expensive, slow human writers for quality. You can use common LLMs for speed and low cost, but you cannot, with traditional means, get all three at once.
You're always stuck sacrificing something critical.
Exactly. And often the reason teams default to that shallow AI is because they lack the fourth point, lack of expertise.
Yeah, a lot of creators, they fundamentally just don't know what helpful content truly entails. They're guessing at the structure, the length, the optimization factors. They're trying to hit EAT standards completely blindfolded.
And finally, there's just the consistency problems. Even if you manage to produce one amazing lengthy article, maintaining that rhythm long term is grueling.
Content calendars stall, teams burn out,
Yeah.
and that SEO accumulation you need to challenge competitors, it just doesn't happen.
This raises a critical philosophical question then, one that really touches on EEAT.
Go on.
If common AI tools just repackage information that's already indexed on the web, they are incapable of generating original insights. They can't demonstrate the necessary experience or expertise because they are inherently, secondary sources.
They're describing the consensus, not pushing the boundaries. And that's why users in Google can immediately spot the difference between shallow recitation and real, high-authority thought leadership.
I want to push back on that EEAT connection for a second, though. If experience is so key, how can a machine which has no actual experience, no field testing, no emotional context, how can it ever fulfill that E in EET?
That's a crucial point. It's the major hurdle.
So does the specialized system just need to document human experience better?
Exactly. The machine can't have the experience, but it has to be trained to recognize and prioritize the verifiable documentation of experience. It has to pull from case studies, original research, proprietary data, and use language that signals firsthand knowledge.
Instead of that abstract, passive voice you see everywhere?
Right. The AI's job changes from just writing sentences to generating verifiable, documentable proof of expertise.
Okay, so if the common general purpose AI fails that authority test because it lacks that verifiable depth,
Yep.
what does a system actually need to do to generate the 3,000-word authoritative content that Google rewards?
This is where we have to move past just general language models and look at specialized technical architectures.
We're not just talking about a better prompt.
No, not at all. We're talking about moving from a general tool like a basic word processor to a highly trained specialist. This isn't just a software feature set. It's a fundamental change in the AI's objective.
Let's dive into the 5 core differentiators for this specialized blueprint. Number 1 has to be professional SEO training.
Right. And this means the AI isn't just trained on the public web. It must have deep, specialized training.
Which fundamentally alters the output.
It does. The system has to be trained specifically on Google's 28 content quality factors, the granular details from their own quality rater guidelines, and the practical application of EAT. It's optimized to score highly on verifiable quality, not just fluency.
Differentiator number 2. Moving beyond general knowledge with industry-specific knowledge bases. Why is this so important?
Because general LLMs, they just stop at the surface. To really demonstrate expertise in, say, advanced semiconductor manufacturing, the AI needs to access and synthesize the latest peer-reviewed research, proprietary white papers, and terminology that you won't find on public blogs.
So it moves from Wikipedia-level content to graduate-level insights.
Precisely.
The third differentiator is about structure, intelligent content structuring. It's not enough to just dump 4,000 words on a page.
No, the complexity here is in argument mapping. The system has to know how to build a clear, logical, and persuasive framework for the argument. It needs to balance depth with readability, placing supporting details at just the right points, and optimizing heading structures so a human can scan it easily.
But are we just talking about a very complex prompt here, asking the AI to write an argument map? Or is this a truly different technical architecture?
It's the latter. A general LLM just follows instructions. A specialized system incorporates a secondary scoring engine that analyzes the structural logic before generation, ensuring the article adheres to a high-ranking semantic framework that guides the entire output.
Got it. Differentiator 4, automated technical SEO, things like keyword density, heading tags, meta descriptions, and crucial internal linking.
These are the elements that eat up, what, 40% of a human writer's time? A specialized AI has to handle them instantly and accurately. Internal linking alone requires a deep analysis of your whole site taxonomy. General tools just can't do that without a ton of human intervention.
The expertise has to be built right into the process. And finally, to overcome the consistency problems we talked about, you need a complete automation workflow.
Absolutely. The process must be seamless. From analyzing search intent for a keyword, to generating the 3,000-word article, to quality scoring it for EEAT compliance, and then scheduling the publishing. This is what eliminates the human drag that slows down SEO.
Okay, so what does this theoretical blueprint look like when it's applied in the real world? Let's move from architecture to outcome and look at a couple of revealing case studies.
These cases really show the stark contrast between that risky, shallow content and the rewarding, high-authority content we're talking about.
Our first example is a health product company transformation. Their challenge was classic. They needed professionally accurate content on complex health topics. Human writing was too slow, too expensive, up to $500 an article, and common AI was just way too shallow to win any patient trust.
And the critical moment here was the validation, the content generated by the specialized system. It was submitted to a medical advisor who verified its quality. They said it was comparable to professional medical writers and found no major errors.
And that is the verifiable proof that the AI achieved EEAT professionalism.
Exactly.
So the 6-month results followed. Blog traffic grew by an incredible 214%. Content creation costs dropped 62%. But here's the metric that, for me, really proves EEAT compliance. Average reader dwell time. It increased from 1 minute and 48 seconds to 4 minutes and 32 seconds.
That is a staggering increase in user value.
Yeah.
A traffic increase alone could be correlation, right? But a 2.7x increase in the time a user spends on the page proves intent satisfaction.
It proves the content was actually helpful.
If the user stays that long, it means the content delivered depth, it was comprehensive, and it solved their problem.
Those numbers are staggering, though. So as skeptical deep divers, how do we know this 214% traffic growth was solely from the new content and not just, aggressive external SEO or licky keyword saturation?
That's why we have to look at dwell time. If that 214% traffic increase had been fueled by low-quality, shallow content, the dwell time would have decreased, or at best stayed flat.
Right.
The fact that engagement metrics soared proves that the increase in traffic was rewarded because the content was fundamentally better.
Okay, second case. This one involved an e-commerce site overcoming Google penalties. This site lost 50% of its organic traffic literally overnight after using common AI tools for batch product descriptions. They needed scale, but now they fundamentally distrusted any automation.
So they cautiously tested the specialized solution on just 20 of their worst-performing penalized pages. The results were dramatic.
What happened?
Rankings started recovering within 4 weeks, which contrasted sharply with the other penalized pages they left alone. After 3 months, the site had exceeded its previous rankings entirely.
And the ultimate business metric, their conversion rate increased by 23%.
Which demonstrates that the path from penalty risk to safety isn't just about avoiding bad content. It's about actively replacing it with deep, helpful, and highly accurate content that drives direct commercial benefit.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? The core achievement of implementing this specialized blueprint is solving several key problems that general AI just cannot touch.
It really represents a strategic leap in what we think of as automated content.
Yeah, we saw 3 major qualitative leaps. First, moving past that trilemma and achieving the perfect balance of quality and speed. Human writing takes 3 to 5 days per article. Specialized AI generates high-quality, long-form content in minutes. We saw one client use the system to create in-depth content for 300 product pages in a single week, an output that would have taken a team 3 months, and the result, a 46% organic traffic increase in 30 days. The second leap is that shift from recitation to depth. Because of the specialized training and the knowledge bases, the content moves beyond generalizations. It includes deep research, practical information, and it fulfills that expertise component of EEAT.
And that 2.7 times higher average dwell time confirms it. Users find genuine value and they stay engaged.
Right.
And the third leap is continuity. Those automated workflows, they eliminate the major consistency problem we identified. You set the strategic direction once, and the content just flows without interruption, maintaining that absolutely essential SEO momentum you need to compete.
If we connect all this back to the bigger picture, success in modern content strategy.
Yeah.
It isn't about asking if you should use AI anymore. It's about how you define and generate quality at scale.
Yeah.
A specialized architectural approach proves that high quality, scalability, and meeting EET standards, they all have to coexist if you actually intend to win in this hyper-competitive environment.
So the real difference in the 2025 content landscape really boils down to four fundamental questions you need to be asking your team right now.
First, do you understand what verifiable content quality truly means? Second, can you create content that meets all four of those EEET principles? Third, can you provide true depth and comprehensiveness, averaging over 2,000 words? And finally, can you continuously create that value for users without stalling your momentum? And that leads to our final provocative thought. Think about that average dwell time jump we discussed earlier from 1 minute and 48 seconds to 4 minutes and 72 seconds. If content quality is ultimately measured by deep user engagement, what other non-SEO metrics should you be focusing on right now to judge whether your content truly serves its purpose and builds the authority your brand needs? Something to explore on your own.